It's time for the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show.
Well, there comes the Huskers back middle by T. Sigler. Block back. Great cover by Laney. Left side kill by Harper Murray off the block and out. Laney rescued that one as the block back was going behind her. She leaped away from the net and punched it to a teammate. 16-10. Allie checks in there. The slide. Manaya Obeche. Kaboom! 13-7 all Huskers tonight. Served by Bergen, twinkles the twine. Okay pass. Carly Gilk. Back with a roll shot. Julia Hansen. Here come the Huskers. Laney Bergen outside. Taylor. Kaboom! Off the block. That huge carom out of here. It's all Big Red. 13-5 set 3. Timeout. Minnesota.
Now, alongside head coach Danny Bus Boom Kelly, here's your host, John Baylor.
Welcome to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hello, everybody. My name's John Baylor, soon to be joined by the head coach, the number one ranked Huskers. My goodness, they are 24-0, 14-0 in the conference, hitting an astronomical 348. A kill percentage, my goodness, let's see if we can figure that out on the fly. 1,144 kills this year out of 2,404 swings. That's almost a 45% kill percentage. Pretty doggone impressive. Nebraska is facing UCLA out in Los Angeles. 9 o'clock Central first serve. You know that means an 8 o'clock Central pregame show, 1 hour pregame right here on your favorite HRN affiliate. UCLA getting votes, previously ranked, but then the big one, the marquee matchup, the Sunday matinee, 2 o'clock Central, 12 noon out on the Pacific Coast. Number 17 USC. It'll be jam-packed. USC has won 8 in a row. Your Huskers coming off sweeps against Illinois and also Minnesota. Here she is, the victorious head coach, still undefeated, Danny Busboom Kelly. Welcome to the Nebraska Volleyball Show.
Thanks, JB. Good to see you.
You're the star. Without you here, there'd be a lot of dead air. So very pleased. Meanwhile, you got to be pretty happy about the trip up north. You got a little chill. Winter seemed to announce itself while we were up there.
Yeah, it did get a little chilly.
Well, you're used to it. Weren't you growing up?
I feel like, yeah, you might live here, be used to it, but you don't have to enjoy it.
Weren't before you were heading off to Adams Freeman, by the way. They won a state title. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Didn't you, like, before school, have to go clean the stalls and get the stables ready
Here
to
we go. No, I did not.
What's this whole farm girl made good story? I thought you were out there on the farm helping out. Wasn't that part of the childhood? Once you became an athlete, Gene and Bonnie were like, all right, we'll let you slide a little bit.
I mean, there was not a lot of work to do in the winter.
But it was a little chilly down there.
It was very chilly. Sometimes hard, big snowstorms got us a little locked in, but
Gene was unhappily paying those monthly heating bills because it got a little chilly. But meanwhile, the team remained red hot. You face Minnesota and you hit 434. First of all, Minnesota played 5 freshmen because of all their injuries. How impressed are you with that team?
Super impressed. And you got to think without the injuries, they'd be top 10 for sure. I mean, I was very impressed. I thought offensively they did a nice job. The freshmen were all very solid. Their setters, great. Just a good team. And, it's unfortunate for Julia Hansen's senior year. They had all those injuries because what a special player she is.
What makes her so special?
Just she's just really good. Great attacker, great, really physical. I don't know the ins and outs of her personality, but you can do everything right defensively against her, and she is still going to kill the ball.
If you cannot vote for yourself, who's your choice for Big Ten Coach of the Year? Keegan Cook, Minnesota, Oregon has had an impressive year. Trent Kirsten, Dave Shondell, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse.
Gosh, I feel like. And this is purely based on when we played against these teams, not their body of work. It's just like when you play against them, what's like, that's impressive. I would give it to Oregon, just having one player.
Yeah, Coach.
And just the way they've improved throughout the year. It's not like this is a team that started out hot and dropped. This is a team that's gotten better each game and is playing their best volleyball in November.
Oregon just took a tough loss. Did you see this one? Michigan State in 5.
Oh, I didn't see it.
16-14 in the 5th set. Michigan State. Kristen Kelsey. Why didn't I mention her? I mean, that was unfair. She's
it was
right
unfair.
There.
Yes.
Throw yourself in the mix. There are 5 deserving nominees. Michigan State's 18-6. They're going to make the tournament. And this is Kristen Kelsey's first year And Oregon 14-10.
You could go Steve Aird. They're probably going to host
Steve
first
Aird
and
at
second
Indiana.
round.
That's a great point. The clubhouse is just packed with good nominees right now. We have 3 weeks to go
right.
At this juncture.
But like I said, I was purely going off when we played
Your
them.
window in time. In Oregon really impressed you here.
Yes.
Because?
Well, I thought they served great. They're one of the hardest hitting teams in the Big Ten, in my opinion.
And if they called a team meeting in like May, one player would have appeared.
Yeah, exactly.
They had one player.
Literally.
Basically.
Minnesota's done an incredible job, but those freshmen, they were highly recruited. It's funny, I recruited quite a few of them at Louisville. So those are great players, and Kelly Kinney was one of the top outsides. So there's a little bit of expectation there. Dave Shondell, Kenna Woolard too. I mean, she was a top 10 recruit out of high school. She's a great player.
All right, let's talk about
back
your
to
team.
This
is good stuff. It's a wide-ranging show. It's like the Ottoman Empire. I mean, it's like all over the map. All right, so Bergen Riley last year leads a team that hits 284, and you've made really just two replacements. Merritt Beeson replaced by Virginia Adriano, and then your libero, Lexi Rodriguez, replaced by Laney Choboy. And this year, rather than hitting 284, the team's hitting 348. And you work specifically with the setter. So we have a lot of coaches listening. I hope. I'm throwing that out there. So, and my guess is some of them work with setters. And you pride yourself on working with setters, correct?
Yes.
Having been a setter yourself for 3
Yes.
years. Anyway, how do you do it so successfully?
I think the main thing is getting out of their way would be number one. I think setters, obviously they need to be coached, but there's a lot going on between the ears for setting, and you don't want to add to that inappropriately or too much. You want to add direct and positive, and you just want to be really good in your communication with setters. So I don't think this is like groundbreaking science, or I do these 5 drills and our setters are unbelievable. It's just building a great relationship, coaching them appropriately during matches, and getting out of their way and letting them play free.
So I hear quality over quantity when it comes to communication, but how do you build that relationship? What off the court have you focused on with Bergen and all those great setters you had at Louisville?
It's just basic stuff, just watching film together, making sure we're on the same page. I do think letting the setters, whether they're captains or not, it's always a bonus when your setter's a captain, but not necessary. That you let them in on some of the team things, and you discuss, lineups and, all very professionally. But I think the setter's got to have a handle on why the coach is making some decisions they are.
Do you go to the mill a few extra times with Bergen out there at near the Devaney?
Not really. Just it's more like interactions here and there. Not, hey, we have to meet off campus and build this relationship. It's a lot more organic than that.
But one of the features is you're not doing a ton of talking. These setters, their heads are already full of all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. A lot of times I might say something, hey, this and this is a great option, and I want the team to know that I'm really confident. But then I'll give Bergen a little side direct. Hey, I like this one more if the pass is there.
Sounds like she's getting a lot of inside info.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Are you more of a stop doing this coach or a start doing more of this positive coach?
Probably start doing more of this positive.
Okay. You're not a big NHA on that. Never happened again.
Well, that's funny. Minnesota, I think Harper tried to go over. She went over on one, and it was really ugly play. Do you remember this play?
She went over on one.
Like the ball came over, she set it over. Because it was the first contact, it couldn't be called a double.
Okay.
It ended up scoring, and everybody was giggling. And I looked at her, and I'm like, do not do that again. And she goes, no crap, I got it.
And that was Harper.
Harper.
And Harper made first contact, and it traveled over the net.
Yeah,
and somehow Nebraska won the point.
Yeah, we did.
I forget that. It's kind of funny that how often opposing teams, and on occasion even the Huskers front row, are so surprised by a first pass or a first dig coming right over.
Yeah.
And because you're thinking in retrospect, if I'd just been ready to go.
Yeah.
But what are they thinking instead of? Like they're just thinking about their blocking assignment.
Yeah, exactly.
And suddenly there's the ball, and
Exactly.
All righty. Meanwhile, let's talk about some of these individuals that are the beneficiaries of Bergen's rise. Taylor Landfair. A year ago, she hits 215. This year, for the year, she's hitting 330. I mean, that's a mic drop moment, but we're not quite done. In the conference, 396.
Wild.
Ferocious. I mean, it's wild. It's incredible. Like, how did she almost has doubled her attack percentage. What's the secret behind that?
I don't know. It's what the secret is. It's confidence. I think she's really smart. Like, you don't see Taylor making a lot of errors, so she'll do a lot of recycling, which is where she'll tip it into the block. It comes back on our side, and then we set somebody else. I mean, that's a huge play where instead of even giving them an easy ball or a tip, she's tipping it into the block so we get it back.
Intentionally.
Yes. And then we can set somebody else.
Now, how do you know when it's intentional and it's whoa, I just got stuff. I'm going to act like the whole thing was planned.
Well, one would be like a crazy cover play that we can't somebody else. Another one's like, hey, I'm going to tip into the block so we can play this.
Right back at her.
Yeah.
Larry would do that in basketball. He'd throw it off the backboard right back to us. So you can tell when it was an intentional. Yeah. Do you coach that? Are there drills to help with the intentional?
A little bit, but you really can't coach it or simulate it that great in practice because it's there's a lot of things that go into it. But we'll work on a little bit of touch. But she's been in college for 6 years now.
She's been around.
So she's pretty smart.
I mean, like Mania was what? She was like trying to figure out what high school to attend when Taylor was starting college.
That's true. So when you put it that way, that's mind blowing.
Taylor was born, Mania was like -6. All right, so let's talk about Terea Sigler. So she and Taylor are kind of the duo, the dynamic duo there at the second outside. I mean, Terea is averaging almost 2 digs per set for the year. She's hitting 291, and a lot of those attacks come from the back row. Yep. That's in conference. I mean, how good an attacker is she?
She's great, and then I think Bergen's just using her so well and efficiently, and just it's hard to attack that high out of the back row, but your setter's got to be making really good decisions and not just throwing her up tough balls. I mean, most of the time when we set Terea, there's one block, if that. So
when Terea's in the back row, Bergen's also in the back row.
Yeah.
And so Bergen cannot attack, so you got to have that back row option.
Well, you still have your 3 hitters. You don't have to.
Yeah. But it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
And it often comes as a surprise. I rarely see 2 blockers in front of Terea from the back row because the defense is like, whoa, where is this coming from? But then Bergen, when she goes in the front row, out of nowhere, she's been doing a ton of attacking of late.
Yep.
And I know that was the instruction before. What do you think has kind of caused her to not only choose to attack more often, but so successfully?
It's just she's throwing it down hard and choosing the right times and making sure that she's catching the defense moving.
Now, we're gonna go to the mailbag very quickly here, but we got one request that came from Amy in Norfolk. Amy in Norfolk wants Bergen to do more 2 shooting. Would you want to have her do 2 shooting, or you like it when she jumps in the air, she's a front row attacker and just spikes it down with her left hand?
I'm much more into the spiking it down with your left hand. I think great defenses will gobble up 2 shoots.
Great defenses are gobbling up a lot of tips of late, but the donut seems to be open for Nebraska this year.
Well, I mean, when Bergen's back row, you want her to 2 shoot. That is good play. But we also have 3 hitters, and we already talked about Terea. So we have Terea Sigler plus 3 front row hitters. So that Bergen's got to be one of the last options.
You basically are hitting 348 as a team, and the kill percentage is like 45%. So do you tell Bergen, look, you better know what you're doing when you start attacking yourself, because you got real options here.
Yeah, that's true.
So meanwhile, she's not pineappling. Like, you know the pineapple.
Yeah,
like,
the deep dump.
Did you ever pineapple when you were a player?
No, I don't
sure
think
it had been invented. Was there a pineapple when you played?
Yeah, there was a pineapple.
Was it called the pineapple?
Yeah.
Okay, because I do like the name.
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking to create like the kiwi. Anyway, why isn't Bergen pineapple? Because I think the diggers for the opposing team are way back in the perimeter. It's probably not going to work.
Yeah, well, the pineapple is just very hard to execute, and so you have to be really strong. The pass has to be coming at the right trajectory. It's very hard. You can't pineapple like a low pass or one that's too high. You have to have it like just right. A lot of times you need your body weight moving in a certain direction, or you don't have enough strength to really get it back there.
This show has unearthed something that I think will surprise Husker fans. We have discovered something that Bergen does not do really well.
Yeah,
all right, that's why you listen. You're trying to figure out what is the kryptonite. Stay right there. We got more Nebraska Volleyball show. That's the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly, and you know this. But Nebraska Sports Nightly is brought to you by CVA, Central Valley Ag. Your calves deserve a strong start, and Purina Stress Care 5 delivers. Now available at Central Valley Ag, Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is here for all producers. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. More with the head coach. This is your Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $3,250 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and 0 down.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $3,250 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and 0 down.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. There's the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly. The Huskers on Friday night play at UCLA. On Sunday afternoon, play at USC. We're on from Wednesday to 6 to 7 right now as we speak. It's Wednesday, 6 to 7, but normally, you know the right time. It's normally Tuesday from 6 until 7. This one's brought to you by League One Volleyball, coming to Omaha this January, featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson. The 2026 Love Volleyball schedule is here. That 2026 Love Nebraska volleyball schedule, it's available. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. View the full schedule at lovbneb.com, lovbneb.com/schedule. And Sports Nightly listeners, a reminder that with every block on the court this season, Union Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Blocking Out Hunger, benefiting the Food Bank of Lincoln, Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Coach Danny Busboom Kelly, this has been quite a phenomenon this season with the undefeated nature of the season thus far, all the sweeps consecutively, and you're getting a lot of attention. And I know that doesn't necessarily make you 100% comfortable, but I'll just bring this up myself, unsolicited. You were on a podcast, Billie Jean King. Hello. Julie Foudy, soccer legend, and also Corey Wambach. Abby Wambach is a soccer legend as well. And that's got to make you feel good.
For sure. I was super pumped. I mean, Billie Jean King was a legend in women's athletics. And
she gave Bobby Riggs a total beat down.
Exactly. And you know, I'm not a big soccer watcher myself, but I mean, Team USA and the runs they have in women's soccer are just unbelievable. So you know the names just from paying attention to what's happening in the world. And so when I got asked to be on this podcast, I was like, hey,
I'll make some time.
I'll do it. You know, it's a new podcast. And I was telling my husband, Lane, about it. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I just Googled the podcast. Mm-hmm. And then I saw that they were on the Today Show, which
that's
promoting
cool.
the podcast. So I was pretty fired up.
What did they ask you about?
Just about like women's sports, Nebraska, you know, what makes this program great and the continuing of the success and the fans. And, it's a podcast purely dedicated to women's sports, all kinds of women's sports. So you'll hear fun facts on there about cricket or, soccer, obviously, basketball. So they just want to keep promoting what is something that's building and building and building.
I've heard Anson Dorrance, the legendary head coach of North Carolina soccer, formerly men's and long for decades women's, talking about the difference between coaching women and men. Let me just get your thoughts on, is there something unique about coaching a team full of women that others who've never been a part of that may not understand?
I think that's hard for me to answer because I am a woman and I've never coached men. So I think it's like I've never been on a team with men. So I don't know what the big differences would be. So I think I don't feel inclined to answer that correctly.
You don't have a comparison, but you have picked up some themes and patterns
Yeah.
over your years as a head coach and a player. Is there any one thing that maybe a male coach may not fully appreciate?
I don't know. Good question, JB. I feel like I think men might consider like women's teams to be pretty emotional and up and down, and I would disagree that women are pretty stable if you just let them be stable. I don't know if that even makes any sense. Like just I don't feel like there's this the competitiveness. I think it does come out a little bit differently. I think women tend to want to be competitive more for each other and more defensive of their teammates, but I don't think that means they're less competitive about themselves.
There's a compassion for the opponent I've witnessed this year that's even unusual, I think, for the Huskers. Like every time the Huskers hit a rocket and somebody gets nailed in the face, suddenly Rebecca's going under the net and trying to help the opposing player on their side of the net, or Harper's going around the net and asking how they're doing. I don't see that.
Yeah, no, back in the day we were like,
body bumping.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Maybe that's a new phenomenon for women, but you don't see that in the men's game typically.
No, probably not.
All righty. You're also getting a ton of national attention. ESPN.com is going to be doing a big article on you for the Final Four and the team. It gives you a platform.
For sure.
It gives you and it's got to be gratifying. But you realize there's a lot of wood left here to chop.
For sure. And there's so many great coaches and great teams and programs in women's sports. Like, it's an honor to be one of those, but we're certainly not the first or the last to be great.
Now, two other players I haven't even gotten to have just transformed, at least statistically, and I think to the naked eye from last year, and that's Harper Murray and Rebecca Alec. And they just continue to fire away, and opponents know it. There's plenty of film on Bergen and Harper and Rebecca and Andy and Taylor, and Nebraska's numbers just keep going up. And so are you adjusting to what you envision their adjustments are based on prior film, or you just keep doing what you're doing?
Pretty simple. Keep doing what we're doing. We are trying to throw in a few wrinkles here and there to, help those guys maybe get one or two more swings that are less contested. But in volleyball, there's only so much you can do without getting too crazy. So we want to keep fine tuning, and the main thing is just continue our balance. If we start feeding one player or heavy in one position, that's when I think things will get stressful for us. Like our balance has been what's made us great, and if we go away from that gets stressful.
Virginia Adriano's numbers are up as well. She's hitting almost 300 in the conference. And is that question of who's going to get the playing time at the opposite largely answered?
Yes. I mean, I think Virginia's our starter right now, but, Allie, I know we're going to need her. And so we're going to keep getting her more playing time, keep her sharp, and I can just feel it that we're going to need her in a huge moment.
Stanford doesn't want to see her again.
That's true. They do not.
The libero question has got to be a close call for you. I mean, Lainey had the match of her life against Illinois. How'd she do against Minnesota?
I thought she did well. Again, passing, Minnesota's a great serving team. So you look at passing numbers, they were down a bit, but we were fully expecting that as a staff. Just the way they serve, and they were at home. That is a really great serving team. But I think the libero is still in question, and we can still make switches. And, what's really special about Liv and Lainey is, of course, they both want to be libero, and, they're not thrilled when they're not libero, but they are thrilled to be a part of this great team and to contribute to winning no matter what it takes.
Everyone wants to play all the time. You don't want a player who's like, hey, I'm really excited, I'm benched.
Nobody says nobody.
And all the reserves, you got a lot of them over there. I mean, 3 are redshirting, 4 now, and that's you got 8 there who are eligible to play, and this just seem to be team first.
For sure. There's no way to get through a season if you're not, because you'll just drive yourself crazy as a player, worrying about playing time or coaches' decisions.
Question out of nowhere. Carly Gilk from Minnesota. lefty on the right side, true freshman. 10 kills, 2 errors, hit .533. She reminded me physically of Grace Heaney from Elkhorn North, who plays for Purdue. And so I just wondered, who do you think's ahead? And do you see the similarities?
Good point. So we recruited Carly Gilk very hard at Louisville. So, we were one of her in her top 3, I think. She chose Minnesota. Hard to get Minnesota players out of the state of Minnesota. But so I watched her quite a bit, and I think Carly's a special player because she could be a 6th rotation opposite, and she can serve receive. And she didn't maybe showcase that great against us, but she's got the tools, and she's a freshman. She's going to get better. So she's a very unique player. I also think she could play on the left. I don't know if Grace Heaney could play on the left or she's ever going to be in the passing rotation.
You think Carly Gilk, who's a left-hander, could play on the left?
I think she could. She's just a very smooth volleyball player.
I can only think of one player who's ever done that. Danny Drews.
Well, I don't think they're
Utah.
going to actually put her on the left. I'm saying she could. Because of her skill level and her.
Remember when Danny Drews was playing for Utah? She was on the left. I'm like, she's got a left hand.
I think she still plays pro as a left side.
She was so fun to watch. That's pretty cool stuff. All right, stay. You got right-handers on the right, so I guess left-handers potentially could do it on the left. Stay right there. We got more Nebraska Volleyball Show with the head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly, after you hear this.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DuteauSubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
At Central Valley Ag, starting calves strong means setting up your success. Purina Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is now available. Help your herd thrive with proven performance you can count on. Right now, when you buy 2 tons or more, you'll get a free mug, limit 1 per purchaser. Start them strong. Harness the benefits. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When it comes to irrigation, only the best will do. That's why growers trust Valley Genuine Parts. Gearboxes, center drives, sprinklers, tech, and more. The parts you rely on most for any pivot, any brand, all from Valley. And now save $50 on your next purchase of Valley Genuine Parts or service. Claim online at valleyirrigation.com/parts. Your Valley dealer has the inventory you need, plus expert inspections and fast, reliable service. Claim your $50 savings today at valleyirrigation.com/parts.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorseed Enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn, and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked.
Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When it comes to irrigation, only the best will do. That's why growers trust Valley Genuine Parts. Gearboxes, center drives, sprinklers, tech, and more. The parts you rely on most for any pivot, any brand, all from Valley. And now save $50 on your next purchase of Valley Genuine Parts or service. Claim online at valleyirrigation.com/parts. Your Valley dealer has the inventory you need, plus expert inspections and fast, reliable service. Claim your $50 savings today at valleyirrigation.com/parts.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
At Central Valley Ag, starting calves strong means setting up your success. Purina Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is now available. Help your herd thrive with proven performance you can count on. Right now, when you buy 2 tons or more, you'll get a free mug, limit 1 per purchaser. Start them strong. Harness the benefits. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $32.50 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and 0 down.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Your Huskers, 24-0, 14-0 in the conference. At UCLA, 13-10, 7-6 in the conference. To me, they're a disappointment thus far this season, Coach. So they're playing for their tournament lives, and they're playing for their head coach, who's been struggling. He's in his 3rd year right now. And you look at him, you think this is a top 15 team.
Yes, for sure.
So you're going to get, it's their best effort, and it should be sold out. At Pauley
Close, I
on
think.
Friday night. We're getting there. But Los Angelinos, they got all sorts of issues. They got lots of
Lots going
distractions.
on.
Lots cooking. It's like, well, Santa Monica or the beach or Malibu or a Pauley Pavilion. I'd go to Pauley, but I'm not one of them. So you got a lot to worry about. Sheridan Leverett and the gang. And they got transfer from Texas. They got transfers all over the floor. Your former middle.
Yeah.
PK Kong.
Yep.
Awesome, from Sioux Falls.
Yes.
And she's healthy again. She missed the beginning of the year. So they're loaded. They got Wisconsin's transfer at Libero. They got
Texas,
all sorts of...
Yeah, they're pretty loaded personnel-wise.
But they got to put up some W's. It would make their season if they could do something against you guys on Friday night. And you know that every match.
Yes, for sure.
And then you got USC. And when you scout these two teams, do you see a lot of strengths out there that you got to worry about?
Oh, yeah. USC is... They're very good, and they've got a freshman setter who, is like I've said it before about other setters, just a baller, such a good athlete, flies around from the Kansas City area. They're opposites from the Kansas City area freshmen. They've got a middle from Omaha, transfer from Oregon. They're playing really well, and they've got all the pieces.
Boy, who would have ever thought that UCSC and UCLA would have to raid the Midwest for talent?
Yeah, Kansas City, South Dakota, Omaha.
It's the power structure of the entire sport has just moved eastward to the Mideast, to the Midwest. What do you attribute that to? It's the passion for the sport.
I think, the sport's growing, and it started in California, but it's grown, and I think more participation.
All right, we're going to the mailbag here. Chad wants to know, how does this locker room and its vibe compare to the ones you had in 05-06? Are there any kind of comparisons with your great teams?
It's hard for me to say because I'm not like in the inner workings of the locker room, which when I think of somebody saying, how's the locker room, I think of, the stuff the coaches don't see or the coaches don't know. So I don't have a great answer to this, but I will say the way the teams approach each game are similar. The confidence, but also the humility to know that we can be beaten at any time.
2006, you were a senior. You're at Florida, empty gym. You're playing Minnesota, the team you just beat as a coach. You're down 2-0. You go into that Florida locker room. What was said in that locker room?
I don't remember.
So you can come back out and reverse that whole deal.
I don't remember. There are a lot of stories from that night. Who knows if they're true or embellished?
I can tell you this much. You guys won.
We did win.
And there's a ton of pressure.
And I heard that, Lee Mays convinced John Cook to dial the lineup, and then they dialed it before Game 5, so Sarah Pavin would not have to go against Kyla Rourke, which was good stories. But who knows? That could have been embellished.
There should be some sort of Husker sticker on the wall in that locker room where you met after set 2 and you're down 2-love, because that's kind of sacred Husker volleyball territory right there.
For sure.
Did anyone take over? Like, did Tracy Stahl start talking? And
that's what everybody said after the game. And after the game's like, what Tracy said? I'm like, I don't know. I think we were all kind of in shock. Like, okay, we better get out there and play much better.
It was one of the great moments in Nebraska volleyball history because that CHI Center, it was called something else back then, was sold out and had been sold out since
It was
December.
like the first sellout for the Final Four ever. Yeah.
And you guys were expected to be there. You were down 2-0 in an empty gym in Gainesville against Minnesota.
Few parents.
Yeah, can you imagine Nebraska playing on the road now and having an empty gym for a regional?
No.
Yeah, that's a perfect snapshot.
I think we should go to Rutgers and play our regional. That place was on fire.
Yeah, exactly. 8,000.
8,000 giddy fans making you feel good.
It was Smokey Joe's Arena. What do they call it? It's what was it?
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's. There you go. It was like, Jersey Mike's. It's place was hopping. They were throwing out sandwiches. All righty. Smokey Joe is a great place too. Unbelievable prime rib. All righty, now contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy. It is the law. Nebraska 811. And Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. More Nebraska Volleyball Show with the head coach after you hear this.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $3,250 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and 0 down.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
At Central Valley Ag, starting calves strong means setting up your success. Purina Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is now available. Help your herd thrive with proven performance you can count on. Right now, when you buy 2 tons or more, you'll get a free mug, limit 1 per purchaser. Start them strong. Harness the benefits. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Welcome back. Your Nebraska Volleyball Show. The Huskers atop the Big Ten, 14-0 in volleyball. Purdue hanging in there, 12-2. Then Wisconsin, 11-3. Charlie Fuhrbringer is back. She led them to a 3-set lopsided sweep at home against Indiana. Wisconsin is right back in the conversation. Perhaps too late for a conference championship this year, but back in the conversation potentially for a Final Four or better. Indiana is down to 10-4, along with USC, Nebraska's Sunday afternoon opponent, followed by Michigan State, Penn State, and UCLA at 8-6. Though, how many teams do you think the Big Ten gets in this year? 8, 9, 10 out of 18?
I don't know. I haven't looked in a few weeks. Probably 8, 9. What's the RPI of Michigan State?
That's the key.
That's the key. Yeah.
And Illinois has a pretty high.
If you're above 45, you got a good chance to get in, I think, and 500.
The Huskers playing UCLA Friday night, USC on Sunday. So many good matches this week. There are 8 matches on Friday night in the Big Ten. Wisconsin at Michigan State. Keep an eye on that one. Washington at Illinois. Ohio State's won 2 in a row, and they're going to play arch rival Michigan. Oregon is at Indiana. That's a big one.
That'll be a good one.
Penn State at Minnesota.
Another good one.
And Nebraska's at UCLA. And then on Saturday, Oregon at Purdue. Wisconsin at Illinois, Michigan State at Michigan, and then on Sunday the Huskers face USC among the matches this weekend. Back to the mailbag. How about high school recruits starting college a semester early? Does their willingness and likelihood to come a semester early affect your recruiting decisions at all?
No, it actually helps. I do think getting those freshmen here in January and having a spring to work with them really gives you a better idea of how they fit in your roster. And so it makes you make better decisions for the next year, even the year after that, in my opinion.
Do you leave it up to them to decide if they want to come?
Yeah, I never want to push somebody to do it. It's got to be, you have to really want to do it, because I don't want somebody to look back and regret missing, their final semester. Maybe they play basketball, they'd have to give up that. There's a lot that goes into it. But if they're asking to do it, we are 100% on board.
Do you ever discuss redshirting late in the recruiting process?
Yeah,
after
for sure.
And is that part of the conversation? Do you want to come early, or do you want to come in the fall and then potentially redshirt? Is that all in the equation?
It's all in the equation, yeah.
And are you seeing any changes in desire to redshirt and desire to come a semester early or not?
I don't think any changes. I think the appetite to come early is getting stronger, but redshirting, I think people are more open to it now with revenue sharing and the COVID. I mean, COVID opened a lot of people's eyes. Look how great all these COVID seniors were when they were fifth year. So I don't feel like recruits are scared of the redshirt or that they don't take it negatively like maybe they once did.
Charlie in Lincoln thinks we're playing music too loud between rallies. What do you think? Go back to quiet between rallies, or you like the music?
I like the music, so that was something that I wanted to see how it went, and I've understood. We've got some emails about it, but I've also feel like the vibe was pretty quiet in there and a little bit awkward. So can we feel some of that silence? And you got to remember, we're used to listening to music in practice, and so we're not used to the complete silence.
So when you're practicing, you're cranking tunes.
Well, not super loud, but it's it's a little bit in the background.
Ambiance.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
And then you found at the Devaney, between points, you guys are up so much, crowds, it's kind of like Love Library in there.
It's not bad. Of course, the atmosphere in Devaney is always awesome. But you know what? Just like everything, we're trying to get 1 point better. Like, does this help the atmosphere? I don't know. We didn't know until we tried.
And you're not coaching 45-year-olds. You're coaching 18 to 22-year-olds, and they respond well to the music.
They do.
Who's choosing the music?
That's not me. So I don't even notice it. I just notice there's noise, which I like. I don't notice the song choices. So I'm sure those could be
one thing I've noticed
requested.
Okay, one thing I've noticed is no one's asked me about the music. And if they do, I'd be excited. Well, it could
be like baseball where we go back to serve and the players have like their walk-up song or their...
Interesting, yeah. And when would we play that? Or
when they go to serve.
You go to serve, that'd be sweet.
So point lands, okay, they grab the ball, they're going to serve, and they got whatever they want.
And if Bergen goes on a long run, we got to hear the same South Dakota song for 7 straight points. So maybe you got to have 2 or 3 in the mix, just in case you go on a long run.
You need 2 or 3 walk-up songs.
Yeah, we got to find out. Okay, Olivia, you've been running a lot of points, so let's see the song here. If it's a good one, we'll let it go. That'll be kind of fun. So whoever's serving, and what do we play when they're serving?
Mm-hmm. Well, something that would, I don't know.
Maybe
a request, but from the crowd.
What the Empire Strikes Back theme?
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that's the USC fight song. Anyway, they're close. They're close. They're in the ballpark. So that's good. So you're okay with the music going on? I mean, sometimes the music in opposing gyms that gets played prior to the first serve seems to intentionally alienate anyone over the age of 30. And I'm thinking those folks have money, and you may want to keep them invited.
I do not like super loud music, but I do like music.
Nice stuff. All right. But we're not going to be playing folk music in there or Jim Croce probably anytime soon. That dates me. All right. Your Nebraska Volleyball Show brought to you in part by Akrs. In fact, the whole Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. 6 regular season matches to go, ideally 6 more to go. In December, that's 12 more matches left. And Coach, you've got some serious competition here on the road in Los Angeles. My guess is you're anticipating a lot of red in the crowd at UCLA Friday night and at USC on Sunday early afternoon. But are you kind of welcoming a formerly ranked team that's getting votes and a team that's number 17 in the country as your opponents coming up this weekend?
Of course. I think it's great to be challenged. I think both these teams are very good. And, I'm just hoping we can respond really well like we have up to this point.
Boy, Southern California, not just for these players, but for Husker fans, haven't played volleyball there forever.
Right.
At UCLA or USC.
Right.
And it's going to happen this weekend. It should be fun. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
That's Danny Busboom Kelly, 24-0, 14-0 in the conference. We'll talk to you Friday night from Pauley Pavilion. Stay right there. More Sports Nightly after you hear this. My name's John Baylor. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DuteauSubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. Proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel Seedsman placed product to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Also brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealers.
Lindenmeyer, the motion man, settles in the trips right. Hunter wide left. Snap. Latif back to pass. Loads a screen left. Akrs of space. Johnson 45 to midfield. Blockers out in front. 45-40. Left sideline to the 30. Breaks a tackle. Tiptoes the boundary. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Huskers. Oh, that was incredible. Straight eye. Deep back Johnson. Latif under center. Snap spin. Handoff. Johnson patiently probes up the middle. He's in standing up. Touchdown Emmett Johnson. Touchdown Huskers. 20-7. Big Red. Minute 47 before half. Latif at shotgun depth. Takes a snap. Play action fake. Rolls right. Looks left. Throw back on the wheel route. Johnson's got it at the 22-20. 15-10. Johnson breaks a tackle. He's in. Touchdown Huskers.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the Nebraska Football Show presented by Channel. I'm Kyle Crooks, soon be joined by the offensive line coach, Donovan Raiola of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We have a busy night of Nebraska Athletics. We'll get you to the pregame coming up at the bottom of the hour. Nebraska will take on Creighton in women's basketball, so Matt Coatney, Jeff Griesch will have the call of that coverage starting here at the bottom of the hour. Still a lot to do, a lot to talk about when it comes to Husker football, of course, on a bye week this week. Fans, your Cavs deserve a strong start, and a Purina Stress Care 5 delivers. Now available at Central Valley Ag. Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is here for all producers. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. As always, also contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Bye week, so an opportunity for Coach Raiola to work a little bit with the depth. That's what you'd expect here in an off week. Some of the starters getting some work as well as we get set to embark on a really big matchup. Really, the next two are going to be huge tests for this offensive line with a front like Penn State and Iowa. A lot of NFL guys are going to be playing against the Huskers on defense over the next a couple of games. We'll talk a lot about the incremental improvement of this offensive line and what they've been able to do in the run game and the emergence, of course, of Emmett Johnson and the thought of him possibly being in that Heisman ceremony, Maxwell Award semifinalist. A lot of that goes to the work that Donovan Raiola has done with this offensive line. We'll talk about overcoming some of the injuries, the leadership that starts inside out with Justin Evans, Rocco Spindler, Henry Lutowski. The improvement of Elijah Pritchett certainly has been huge for this team as well. So plenty to get into. We'll waste no more time. Here's my conversation with Donovan Raiola. Kyle Crooks now joined by offensive line coach Donovan Raiola. Coach, it's good to see you. Good to have you up here in our brand new studios. Bye week for you guys, but I'm sure you're getting after it. And this is a week, I know for one, working with some of the depth too, getting some of those guys some reps. Just how do you as a coach, first of all, welcome, and how are you attacking the bye week?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me. We're just, for us, it's always go back to basics, right? Getting lined up properly. Just basic offensive line play and just attacking that. And over time, you see improvement, right, when you just focus on the right things. You can easily get away from it during the season. Plays start creeping up on you. You got to execute this play, that play. But we always go back to basics and just keep focusing on the right things so we can keep improving through the season.
Somebody asked me today, what's the most improved group throughout the year? And I was thinking, I'm like, well, I think it's Donnie's group, the offensive line. I think you guys, especially with what you've gone through injury-wise at the tackle position, you guys have had to put guys in all different spots. The improvement of Elijah and Turner being thrown at right tackle. You sense these guys have, with all the adversity, they've really stepped up and improved on a week-by-week basis.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to have a unit that they really stay focused on what's important, staying focused on our process, right? Just focusing on our standard and make sure we live up to our standards that have been set from Coach Rule and all the way down. And it's easy to get caught up in the noise. We don't listen to the noise. We ignore the noise. And, just watching the growth of each man in that room, starting with the, obviously the starters, and then, even the younger guys coming up. It's just they attack every day and with a focus to improve. And that's all I just appreciate those guys, staying focused in that way.
Of all the highlights, Emmett's 56-yard screen to the house, and I have that lasting image of Evans, Spindler, 20 yards downfield, blocking guys, mauling guys. I think all game long, you guys were blowing guys 3 yards off the ball. From a run blocking standpoint, this offensive line group's been very good all year long. But in terms of the effort on a play like that, you point that out in the film room that, hey, we're 20 yards downfield mauling guys.
Absolutely. I mean, that was, I was standing right there on the sideline and I saw two guys rolling, and, we've been working hard of getting those guys out there, and, they saw green grass, and Isaiah obviously got the play started. Yeah. What a warrior that guy is with the block on a linebacker, receiver on a linebacker, and he got the play started and saw green grass, and those guys just started sprinting, and, they're just trying to give Emmett a lane, and it's just kind of, the standard that we believe in, right? Is just finish plays, and along with making your block, you got to get to the football, right? Take care of your teammates and make sure no one's messing with them as they're carrying the ball. So, it's just a standard that those guys have, taken with them and raising it. That's always the challenge, right? As a unit, the players raise the standard that we set for them. So,
chatting with Donovan Raiola, talking some offensive line, and Emmett's had an all-world type of year, and Emmett would be the first to tell you, big reason why is those guys up front. And I would have to imagine yourself, but all the players in the offensive line room take a great sense of pride with what the season that Emmett Johnson's had, because of it's the work you guys put in up front that allows Emmett, along with his individual ability, to have a season like this that could have him sitting in New York City and at the Heisman ceremony. Absolutely.
Emmett's a special young man. I was, fortunate to be here his freshman year, and, people can say what they want about him, but, just watching his progression and him just fully buying into the process and the work that has to go into becoming what he's become over the years, and just the development that he's gone through with Coach Barthel. It's just the fruits of his labor. It's fun to watch, and he's the same guy every day. He's consistent, shows up, ready to work, ready to improve. With all the noise and all the the things that are popping up for him, well deserved. Obviously, he's still the same guy. He hasn't changed, right? And he'll keep attacking and improving. And as a unit, you're right. They do take pride in having a running back like that. And I'm sure any of those running backs that get put on the field, the offensive line is going to take pride in making sure that we give them the line of scrimmage in the run game, and and if we get them out on screens, we get out there and try to make blocks and get them loose. So we got special backs, and Emmett's obviously leading the charge. I'm interested from your expert opinion. There's a lot of pressure and thoughts about Elijah Pritchett because guys come in now, they have a dollar sign that's attached to them, whether we like that or not. That's the reality of what college football is now. So there's a lot of expectation on Elijah, and he wasn't the guy right away at left tackle, but he emerges as that guy and becomes that guy, and it feels like every week he's improving. When you look at the tape, how much has Elijah improved, maybe off the field, on the field, all of it up until now? Yeah, just a credit to Elijah, obviously, coming into a different program, right? Things are run a little different. The process is a little different. It's grueling, it helps you become a man, and he fully bought in. There's obviously guys in the room like Justin and Henry and Turner and Teddy and Gunner, Rocco. Those guys really helped bring him along too, and it's a credit to Elijah again, right? Just for taking the coaching, right? Learning, being coachable, and then going out and playing, and getting better every week and staying focused on what's important, right? And eliminating distractions and doing all those things, right? Because at this age, you know how that can be, right? So, but that's it's just Elijah doing it. You see it on film, but there's a lot of guys behind the scene that's helping bring him up too, and that's that's really the goal of the unit, is just to bring each other up and lift each other up, and make sure that the guys next to me play better because I'm out there. Chatting with Donovan Raiola.
Rocco Spindler, bone was sticking out of his hand at Minnesota. Guys at the ER, I'm sure he wanted to play the rest of that game if the doctors didn't exist and weren't on the sidelines. And he comes back the next week, and he's still mauling guys. Like, you just don't expect people to have that same level of intensity after a pretty gruesome injury like that. But the level of leadership that he's brought, he has a winning mentality. He played for a national championship last year. What has he brought to your room?
Just a level of experience, like another guy in that room with Justin, along with Henry, Turner, Teddy. All those guys got a lot of experience, right? And then, Rocco's a throwback, right? Like he's a true throwback player. He's tough, right? He's smart. He finds ways to get his job done at a high level. He communicates, just everything you look for in an offensive lineman, right? That's who Rocco is. And, he's all about the unit and all about helping the young guys out. He's just a great young man, and just blessed that, we got to spend a year with him. Justin Evans, everybody I talk to, everybody says he's just a really good football player. He's one of the best just football players on this team. Jersey guy, partial to him because I'm a Jersey guy too. He grew up in East Orange. It's about 20 minutes from where I grew up. But his position switch too is something that we sort of forget about as we're deeper into the year. But how's he adjusted to being essentially the captain of that offensive line? Yeah, it's just hard to put into words what kind of player Justin is and what kind of human being he is. Obviously he went to Irvington High School, right? Irvington, New Jersey. He was the only recruit in our 2022 class with the offensive line. I don't say this lightly. I mean, he's, in my opinion, if not the best, one of the best centers in the nation. Just watch the film. A lot of people see it on TV, but if you sit down and watch the film and see how hard he plays, and just all the stuff you got to deal with as a center compared to playing guard, he's grown a lot, communicates. He's truly our alpha in the room. He's our leader. When he speaks, everyone listens, and that's spreading out to the team. And that's, you earned that right? And he's obviously earned it. Just a guy that believes in the process, does things the right way on and off the field, and obviously his game shows, all the hard work he puts into it. So just blessed to be around a guy like that every day and be able to coach a guy like that that's so coachable and willing to do whatever we ask him to do. I think there's so many constants on your offensive line. You go guard, center, guard. I think that's sort of where it starts. And Henry Lutowski is one of those guys, and also had an injury in the spring. What's interesting about your group is you didn't really have anybody in the spring. Everybody was hurt, so that can hurt development as well. These are things we sort of forget about as we go. But Lutowski is just another one of those constants on the interior. Easy guy to coach, right? Oh, he's since the day we got here, he just fully bought in, so coachable. He takes what you tell him and he'll memorize it immediately, right? And he'll be able to spit it back to you exactly how you say it. Very, very conscious in that way. Henry was the right guard last year, and he's such a team guy that when we asked him, hey, maybe we got to play you here, and he was like, oh, whatever you need, coach. I'm all in for the team. And then obviously his leadership skills, he's grown with experience, and now, being a team captain, you can hear his voice, speaking up more, and he really leads the room and makes sure guys are doing things the right way. And it's just a blessing to have, guys like Justin, Henry, Rocco, Teddy, all those guys, Turner, just like guys that have so much experience, but also such great teammates and great team guys that they lift the younger guys up and kind of show them, hey, this is how it's done, So yeah, and Teddy and Gunner, two guys that are out, but Teddy's somebody who he's still on the road trips. When he went down, and Coach Rule told the story that he just sort of says, "What's next?" And man, he's just gone through it in his career, but has an unwavering thought process about how to help his teammates. I mean, Gunner and Teddy, what can you say about those guys? Shoot. Both of those guys are like coaches on the field. They take what's being, the details of what's being taught to them through the week, and they go out there and they try to get it done exactly how you ask them to get it done. And then, sometimes you'll see Gunner, like, if the formation's wrong, he's trying to get the formation and tell them, hey, you're supposed to be over here, like talking to the tight ends and receivers. And, I'm like, oh, shoot. But, those guys are just all in, right? They're all in. They fully believe in our process, you know, and they carry that standard with them every day. Even with them being out, they're in meetings, they're coaching other guys up, and, you know, I challenge them to help others, lift them up, and that's exactly what they're doing. And that's just who they are, right? They're all in for Nebraska kids, and love the program and love, you know, being a part of Nebraska football, you know, so.
Yeah, and shout out to Tyler Canuck, who's been thrown into a lot of different situations, especially in Minnesota, was thrown into a lot of snaps. And this is a big week in the bye week to really help some of your depth, get them some reps. I mean, you've recruited really well. Grant Bricks, Jake Peters, Jason Machachok, Preston Talmud. There's a lot of guys in that room that are the future. What do you see from what the future of the offensive line is here at Nebraska?
Yeah, we just got off the field, and, you know, it was exciting to see, you know, like, those guys, you know, some of them get reps against our defense, getting them ready, and then to see them go out there and execute our plays. And they're doing a great job. You know, not only those guys, right? You got younger guys like Houston, Kahina Torres. You got Sean Hammerbeck. You got you know, a guy in Brian Tapu who just started playing football 2 years ago. Bright future. You know, Nolan Fennessy. He's hurt. He got hurt in the spring, but that's another guy that's in that same class with Bricks and Jake and Preston and Gibson. Gibson Piles, another guy. You know, so you know, it's exciting. You know, the development that you see as the season goes on, and those guys get better and better and better, and they start to figure things out and start to believe. You know, I imagine when I was that age and what it was like and where my mind was at. So just proud of those guys. Just keep attacking every day and keep attacking this process and, you know, figuring things out. And, you know, as a unit, it's just fun to watch their growth.
Yeah, it's been a really fun group, and going out to practice, watching you coach, and just seeing how these guys are developing. And again, you notice where you're at when you're at times of friction, right? With Coach Roll always uses that phrase with injuries, and the way that you guys just continue to incrementally improve every single week in a tough league, I think says a lot about your command of that room and the depth of what you have in that room. So, Coach, we can't thank you enough for coming by and chatting with us. And I know it's a bye week, but it's still a busy week for you, getting ready for Penn State. And I know you're always trying to improve and get things right, so appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Great conversation with Coach Raiola. Has done a really good job with this group. Really, you know, you talk about the conversation and the outside noise from the Michigan game to where they're at now. They're really improving. They've always been a solid group in terms of run blocking, but the sack numbers, even prior to Raiola's injury, have been down, slowly getting down since that Minnesota game. So certainly a group that's improving. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop, as we take a look at this week's Alumni Spotlight.
A 3rd down and 4 for the Cornhuskers.
8-man front.
It doesn't pay off. Will Shields has got the football.
The old fumble-rooski on that play.
Will Shields, a dominant player, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 12 Pro Bowls. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, number retired, won the Outland Trophy. Of course, one of the great Huskers of all time, one of the great NFL offensive linemen of all time, a part of the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame. So Will Shields, a part of our alumni spotlight here tonight. Also, fans, as a farmer, challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel Seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. A lot of Husker athletics going on nowadays. You got basketball, football, volleyball, but tonight it's women's hoops as Nebraska will have a rivalry matchup with Creighton. Our coverage beginning here in just a few minutes, so keep it right here on the Huskers Radio Network. Matt Coatney, Jeff Griesch will have the call. Huskers coming in at 2-0. Amy Williams announcing a really big signing class today as well, as they continue to just have a lot of momentum in recruiting. So, Kyle Crooks signing off here for the Nebraska Football Show presented by Channel.